try that again. Hang on. There we go.
That was great, man.
Buttons. Got little buttons.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hang on. Here we go.
Hey everybody, Tipsy? What are you doing over there? What are you looking for?
It's a little pumpkin pie. A little leftover.
That's something we don't do on the air. What are you doing?
I can't eat on air?
No eating, drinking only. Put that away.
I got the munchies.
The munchies. Welcome everybody.
Not like the plant vapor munchies. Oh,
Okay.
no.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to season 5 of IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. I'm your co-host, NY-Pete. Over on the other side there, eating away, is our technical director and other half of IFB, none other than the Tipsy Toaster, Chris Moore. He's our resident robot-based life form IL5. Let me thank you all for tuning into our sci-fi pop culture show. We have deep roots in the classic 70s, 80s, and TV show, movies, and comics, the culture of our youth, and we are big Battlestar Galactica 1978 fans. We love the whole franchise, but we have a special place in our hearts for the original. So welcome, and let's dive right in. We have a bunch of really cool guests. We're going to have our Star Wars update with none other than Mr. Chris Feehan, and we have Tiny Bean, and we have an excellent guest that we've been looking to get on the show for a while. So let's toast to the fans, and then bring on the commander of the Empire City Garrison of the 501st, Mr. Chris Feehan, who does some really cool stuff with a lot of charity, not to mention, of course, the Star Wars connection, but I love all the charity work that he's been doing. So as we get there, as we get ready to pull him on, let's just thank
tonight.
The fans.
Don't forget. Do you have the QR code?
As a matter of fact, I don't have it handy. But
I'll check out our site. You'll find the QR code for Merlin Munchies. Merlin Munchies are the greatest coffee in the fracking world. This one tonight is amaretto, the chocolate cherry amaretto duel of fates. So I have my coffee ready to go.
Good. Very cool.
And my addition as well.
Very cool. That's it. All right. Well, look, I have the original mug.
I have the only mug that matters.
Yeah. Well, here's to you guys. Here's to the fans. Fans fuel the fleet. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate it. Our high numbers are in the 30 to 40,000 viewer range. So thank you guys for. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but thank you. So here's to you guys.
It's mainly about you guys. Fans fuel the fleet.
Cheers to that. All right. So look, we have
a
bunch. Yeah. What's the matter? It's good. George is on, and Bert Oliver's on, and Chuck, thanks for joining us live. And John Wan, James McCoy, Lola, of course. Oh, Dr. McCauley. Get better, Dr. Chris. You need to drink some of whatever the Tipsy Toaster's drinking. And Rob Baum, our unofficial fact checker, thank you for joining us. And Erica, Chris Laskowski from Down Under, thank you for joining. Paul, Commander Kane, and let's see who else. Danny Kowalski is on with us. Susan, thank you for joining us live. I'm monitoring a little bit of the Facebook. I know there's a bunch of you watching on some of our other, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, and a couple of other some of the other meta sites that we have. Thank you for joining us. And without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Chris Feehan and get us our update on Star Wars and charity, and maybe a little bit of Christmas cheer in there as well. So,
all right, let's see if the audio switches over.
All right.
Check.
Chris, you good?
Hey guys, how you doing?
There we go.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
What's cooking? Tell us. Bring us up to speed, man.
A lot going on. Back in November, there was the D23 conference, which is the big Disney convention that they held in Brazil this year.
Oh, okay.
And during that convention, there was a lot of new news about different series and things that came up. So I'll run through the gamut of some of the big highlights of what's going on by TV, movies, books, games, all that kind of stuff in the Star Wars universe. And a lot of it was revealed during the D23 convention. First off, the Acolyte finished up last month, actually back in October. Not a great reception, not an incredibly great fan reception. It's no wonder that it's not getting a second season as of now. I don't think it will. I think if Disney officially announced it has been officially canceled, so there won't be a second season. I don't think anybody's really going to miss it. There was a lot of controversy surrounding the show. There was a lot of bad blood around the show. Putting all that aside, it just wasn't a very good show. It was kind of boring. Uh, Two of the episodes are basically retreads of each other. It really didn't bring that much new to the table. There was a few moments of it that were very good, but the rest of it was just lackluster. So hopefully we won't be seeing more. We weren't not going to be seeing more of that. But this week, on Tuesday, they premiered their new series, Skeleton Crew. Now I have to warn you, if you're an adult, this is a kids geared show. So don't expect anything on the level of The Mandalorian. Don't expect anything like that. This is more of a kids geared show. Think kind of Goonies and the movie Explorers in the Star Wars universe. And it does take heavily from Goonies. I saw it throughout the first two episode premiere that they had on Tuesday. It's basically a story of four young kids, probably between the ages of like 12 and 14, who accidentally happen upon a starship and go on an adventure that brings them to a pirate world, and they get into all kinds of crazy nonsense. And at the end of the second episode, they run into what might be a Jedi played by Jude Law, who's hopefully going to guide them to safety. So it was a very exciting two episode premiere. Some of the stuff was a little kiddie, but again, I'm trying to look at it not from an adult standpoint, but would this be a nice family oriented family entertainment for the little ones? And yes, it was a little violent for a kid's show. There was a couple of scenes with the pirates that it got a little dicey, and I was a little surprised. But Goonies was like that too. If you think of those 80s kind of kids in peril kind of movies, they were kind of rough by today's standards of kids shows. So it did have a little edge, but it was still a very kiddie show, but very well done, thoughtfully done, pretty well executed, and some interesting concepts going on. Heavily pirate oriented, so it really reminded me of Goonies. The characters of the four kids are very reminiscent of the characters from Goonies. One of them is like a tech whiz, so you're like, oh my God, this is exactly Goonies. But putting that aside, it was a very good start to what I hope is going to be a solid series that might continue and might get other young people involved in Star Wars and give them something that the whole family can enjoy together.
I hear gateway drug.
Yeah, gateway drug to Star Wars. Not as kiddie as the Young Jedi Adventures, but not anywhere near as adult or as sophisticated as The Mandalorian or, anywhere near Andor. But a good family fare, and hopefully they'll keep it up and it'll continue at the same quality as the premiere two episodes. Some other big news that came out of D23 and that we've heard in the past month or so. Andor Season 2 is officially announced to debut in April. I think it's April 22nd. We also found out for sure that Alan Tudyk is going to be in it as K2SO. And he's had very good things to say about Tony Gilroy's script and some of the things that we can expect in Andor Season 2. Keep in mind, Andor Season 2 is the final season. I do respect the fact that they're keeping to that. They're going to have it as kind of a two-part season, and the second part of the second season is going to lead directly into Rogue One. I'm excited to see how they do that, and it's going to be kind of the bookends of this character. We already know how his story completely ends in Rogue One. This is going to be the lead up to how he gets even more involved with the rebellion and how he ends up in the situation he's in Rogue One. So it's going to be interesting to see how they pull this off and see if it's satisfying. I'm really hoping it will be. Ahsoka got some updates during D23. Uh, different folks from the production team said that they're still writing it, but they do expect to start shooting it sometime in 2025. We also heard that the second season may be its last, which was kind of a surprise, but we'll see what happens. It might be that it's going to lead right into the Mandalorian movie that we'll talk about later, or that just they're going to wrap up the story and then maybe jump Ahsoka into the movies, or maybe again she'll show up in a future Mandalorian movie. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. We also found out that both Mandalorian season 3 and Ahsoka are getting a 4K Blu-ray release, which is good news for a lot of the audiophiles out there. So if you'd like to have it in physical media, you'll get your chance shortly because they're both being released on 4K. Some other big news for the television sector: Star Wars Visions, which was a popular little short series that had little Japanese animated, heavily influenced animated shorts based in the Star Wars universe, is getting a third season, and there's going to be 9 new stories by very famous directors in the Japanese animation space coming in 2025. So a lot of fans can get excited about that. And the Lando series is apparently still in development. Donald Glover gave an update that it's still being worked on, and he's still working through some of the details. So that project is not completely dead. So hopefully on the horizon, maybe we will see a Lando series somewhere down the line. Probably not until at the earliest late 2026, early 2027. So it's way down the line still. Mandalorian, as I mentioned, is not getting a season 3. It's jumping right into movies. And they did officially announce that it is going to be released in May of 2026, and that they wrapped up filming last week. So everything being filmed is in the can. Pedro Pascal was supposedly on set to do some of the work on that movie. So he's going to be there in the flesh in at least part of the movie. And that's going to debut again May 2026. So it's going to be a long wait. And that's pretty much going to be the first Star Wars movie that we're going to see, and probably the only Star Wars movie we're going to see in 2026. They did take off the Rey one from the schedule, and now there's an untitled Star Wars project that's been scheduled for 2027. There's still some debate about whether that might be the Rey movie. It's still untitled. They're not sure. Nobody knows at this point. So right now, the movie space is still kind of in flux. The Rey movie lost its writer. So there's been some problems, behind the scenes on the production of that, which may delay it. This is why they pulled it off the schedule for 2026. We'll see what happens. A lot of people are excited about that. The new Jedi Order that's going to involve Rey and possibly some of the other characters from the sequels. We'll see what happens with that. There's also some other projects on the back burner. There's supposedly one from Taika Waititi. I can never pronounce his name. The director of Thor, that is supposed to be still in the works. I don't know if that's still happening, and there's been very little word about that. But we'll see what happens, and we'll be watching that space. I'm very excited for Mando and Grogu. They also just announced, related to that movie, that Sigourney Weaver is going to be in it for sure. That she's going to play a character.
Grogu's now the alien.
That was released during the D23 conference. And when they asked Katie Skaloff if Bo-Katan might make an appearance, she said, "Even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you." So,
wow,
that lets me hope that maybe she will make an appearance. I was a big fan of Bo-Katan in the Mandalorian series, and hopefully she will make an appearance. And who knows, maybe Ahsoka will make an appearance as well. So we'll have to wait and see. On the games front, Outlaws is still out there. Didn't live up to expectations, but they did release some new DLC, downloadable content, called Wild Cards last week. And Lando Calrissian makes an appearance in that expansion pack that just came out. And that's got a pretty positive reception, as well as a lot of the fixes that they've done. A lot of people are criticizing this game for not being really polished and not being finished when it was released, which is a problem with a lot of new games, like what happened with Cyberpunk 2 years ago. But hopefully what happened with Cyberpunk might happen with Outlaws. Maybe once they fix some of those bugs and it gets some word of mouth that it's a pretty decent game, more people will jump on board and get it. But right now, it's still a very lackluster title, and people aren't really flocking to it. So we'll have to see what happens in that space. There was a lot of high hopes for it, but I don't think it really lived up to the hype surrounding it, or the $100 price tag for the premium edition that it was originally sold for. And the book front, there's still a lot of High Republic books coming out. There's a new one coming out called Tempest Breaker that kind of got a kind of lackluster response from some of the critics. I'm not a big fan of those books, and I don't know if a lot of other Star Wars fans are really biting on this. I think Disney was betting heavily on the High Republic area to take off to maybe lead into a movie or another franchise that they could try to tap. I just don't know if that's really happening, but we'll have to wait and see what the reception is to any other content they come out with. There's also a new version of the Star Wars Encyclopedia coming out for 2024. They regularly, like every 2 years, update that encyclopedia to include new content from the new series and new properties that are coming out related to Star Wars. So people can be excited for that this Christmas. And that's pretty much everything that's happening in the Star Wars universe at this time. What's happening with the Empire City Garrison is very exciting. We have a lot of stuff coming up for the holiday season. We do a lot of events around the holidays. Just this weekend, we have 5 or 6 events coming up. We have a couple of toy drives. We have an event with the Marines. We have an event at a local comic shop. We have our Sugar Plum Ball that we partner with the Cerebral Palsy Association, who I also work for. As I was mentioning before, Pete, this is something that was kind of my brainchild to take what they had as the Sugar Plum Ball, which was originally a ball just for girls and their fathers. They wanted to update it a little and make it co-ed and make boys also interested in coming with their moms and make it more of a family affair. So I pitched the idea that we make it into something called the Sugar Plum Ball and Galactic Gala and add Star Wars to it and add different characters. We got the Rebel Legion on board. We got the 501st on board. We got the Saber Guild on board. And now it's just an extravaganza. Let me just put it in perspective. There's about 60 kids there. 12 of them are sponsored kids from our school that get to come for free to experience this event with the other kids that are there. And it's just a beautiful event, seeing all the kids play together and them all being treated as equals and everybody just having a good time together. The folks in our groups really go crazy for this and come out in droves. And we're going to have about 30 characters there between all the groups for about 60 kids. So there's like, 2 kids per character. So it's something we do go above and beyond for, and it is, again, an organization that's very close to my heart. So we're very happy to support it, and we're very happy to go so overboard to support it because it's just such a wonderful and beautiful event. So we're very happy to support that again this year. We're also doing a event called Toys of Hope at Ohika Castle. Packed with one great event after another for various charities, various organizations. We're also doing the Widows and Orphans Party for the New York Police Department, which is another one that's very close to our heart. My brother was a former New York City police officer, so we're very happy to support our policemen and their families, and support that event this year. So all these events are just stellar and exciting, and it's so great to give back around this time of year. And for next year, we have some exciting things planned. I'd like to mention 3 big events that we have coming up. We have the Islander game on January 24th on Long Island. So we get to partner with the Islanders and do their Star Wars night. We have President's Weekend at the Intrepid, which is a big family weekend. It's Kids Week. And for that weekend of President's Weekend, we're there the whole weekend and just have a ball doing that. And then in July, we're going to be doing the Weird Al concert that's going to be at Madison Square Garden. So that's going to be exciting. We don't have all the details on that yet, but we have already been in contact with their management, and we can't wait to support Weird Al when he comes back around and does his concert again in 2025. So we're great to be back in the saddle with Weird Al again. And also, we're doing our mini-con again. We're doing our 4th annual mini-con for the Cerebral Palsy Association, July 19th, again at Levittown Hall. Hopefully we'll get you guys on board, and we'll get some other great guests. We're working on some really exciting guests that we hope to come. We've already got a couple of maybes, and hopefully around January, February, I'll be able to start announcing some solid yeses and get some real excitement around that event in 2025. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting last year. It was a huge hit to have you guys there and covering it and everything that you do. We really were excited to have you.
And we had a really, really good time, Chris. So real quick, tell us about your Christmas this year, Christmas 2024. How does that play out in your house, Chris?
Oh my goodness. So it's all Star Wars and Back to the Future stuff. I already got an early present because we wanted to decorate for the holidays. My family got me the 2 more of the Star Wars interactive Hallmark keepsake ornaments. I don't know if you know what these are.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that's about this big that is Han Solo being frozen in carbonite. It plays out the entire scene, and Han Solo goes down into the chamber and then comes up as Han Solo in carbonite. It's a little animated motorized ornament that's really not an ornament. It's a giant display piece. I got that last year and I thought it was the most over-the-top ornament you could possibly imagine. So then my kid surprised me this year with getting me the trash compactor, which plays out the entire trash compactor scene and actually compacts and then, opens again and plays the whole audio of the whole scene. And the Death Star trench 2-part set, which is 2 pieces of the Death Star trench with a little X-Wing ornament and a little TIE Fighter Darth Vader ornament. And it plays out the entire Death Star trench scene. Like all the audio and lasers, and they're shooting lasers at each other, and they're going down the trench at high speed, and it's just hilarious.
Oh, that's
They're the most over-the-top, ridiculous ornaments. I had to have them, and the family said, go for it, and we'll get them for you early so you can put them on display. I'll have to show you a video next time of what they look like. They're just so insane and so over the top that I just had to have them. And besides that, I've asked for a couple things. I'm hoping to get the Ghost, the giant Ahsoka ship that HasLabs is coming out with. I think my family might have pre-ordered that for me. maybe with my credit card, maybe. and I'm getting a secret costume for the 501st that I can't reveal because my family doesn't even know what it is. They just know that they're getting me a costume, and it's going to be a new costume I'll debut next year. That's a weird one that I just had to have.
Oh, got to take pictures, and when we'll put them up.
I've been working behind the scenes to get you the right costume, and I'm just going to say it's individual. Jar Jar. You're not very much. A little Jar Jar is going to be going in there, so I can see you dressed up as Jar Jar Binks. And by the way, that mystery movie that you were talking about, that nobody knows what it is or anything like that, it's the Jar Jar Binks Sith Lord. That's the name of the movie. I've been asked to write it. I've told them I'm really busy at this point in time with Stranded Warrior.
I'm sure they'll come out in droves to see that movie.
You'd be surprised. I mean, there's a huge fan following, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to write that. So they're looking for other writers.
Let's hope not. You're too busy.
Mr. Feehan, keep up the great work. I'm glad that you have time for us. Thank you for stopping in. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2025. So thank you very much for everything you do. So keep it up, and here's to you. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep. And for the fleet.
That's great. Thanks, Chris. It's such a pleasure to have him on and know all that stuff that he's doing, the charity work and combining, your favorite, we're fans, right? I mean, you can tell, like, when, Chris is talking, he's coming from that fandom. We love that. And not to mention, he also has this, deep-rooted Battlestar Galactica love, too. So that's another special thing.
Oh, yeah. And check this out. He's got a love for Thanksgiving as well.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza or Chinese, guys?
Oh, excellent. Very nice. You found it. I'm glad. Thanks again, ECG, Empire City Garrison of the 501st, and Mr. Feehan for coming on and being part of the team here at IFB. So we have in the wings, we have Tiny Bean Tara, and we're gonna have a really cool insight on some stuff that's going on in the TV movie world. So looking forward to. I mean, I get a sneak peek, so I get to see what's going on. Hey, Tiny Bean, what's up? I saw your
Hey
deck. Some cool
guys.
stuff going on. I hope
Awesome.
everything is going well. We got to talk a little bit before you came on, and you're
Yes.
all busy. I know that you're going to be up to there's going to be snow up to your eyeballs soon enough. But thank you for making it onto the show. So there's some cool things going on. As a matter of fact, I started watching the Dune, right? The yeah,
Do you
right.
love it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
really,
it's
really good.
so
Very
good.
good.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
that's really cool. So that's something that I'm keeping up with. And
Mm.
there's another thing. It's the new Matlock. I'm watching that as
Yeah.
well.
Yes, with Kathy Bates.
It's
Yeah.
Yes.
fantastic. She's so good. She is
Ah,
so good. And
I
she's,
want more of the original Matlock on that one.
yeah, but this is a good thing. It brought it back, and she is
Yeah.
so good. They made
mhm.
a joke about the fact this she's called Matlock, and it's a running joke on the old TV show, and she acknowledges it, and yeah, yeah, I was always getting needled about it, and so they play that off. It's really good. We'll see where it goes. I'm inspired by the fact that she is a senior citizen, and she still has it,
Mhm.
and she is incredible. So it's inspiring.
Yes, absolutely. She is amazing.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
Mediocre Modeler and Karen, thank you for joining us live. Erica, I don't know, James McCoy, I don't know if I did a shout out to you, but thank you. And then, of course, George G is in the house too. So,
George.
thank you guys for watching us live. I'm monitoring the Facebook feed. I know that there's a bunch of you watching over on the YouTube and some of the other Meta, and we have a couple other channels. So I don't have that handy, but thank you guys for watching us live. So Tiny Bean, if you're ready, I guess it's up to Tipsy Toaster. You got it? Yep, here we go. It's all you.
Fantastic. All right. Ready to rock, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. Hello, IFB. Good to be back. Hope you're all enjoying the holiday season so far. We've got tons of snow up here in the North Country, so it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. But we are not quite there yet. So if you are looking for some fun alternatives before binging your favorite holiday classics, there is no shortage of good new stuff out there to enjoy. But let's begin tonight with some news on two of the franchises we've been following closely: the Highlander reboot film and the new Alien FX series. The Highlander film, directed by
Ooh.
Chad Stahelski of John Wick fame, is projected now to start filming in early 2025, which more than likely means a 2026 release, guys. So we've got a little bit to wait, but they are already teasing details to keep us interested. For one thing, they have confirmed that the time period will be present day US. So not the 80s or 90s when the original films and TV series came out, or the distant past in the Highlands of Scotland, but I imagine there will still be flashbacks. Chad has also confirmed that they will indeed use the original music from Queen.
Whoa.
Right? So
Hell
that
yeah.
alone, very cool. No word yet on other actors joining the cast. They're keeping a lot of that stuff really tight right now, but we will eagerly be watching for new news and reporting on it as soon as it hits. Now, it is a wonderful time to be a fan of the Alien franchise. They have confirmed that there will be a sequel to the new Alien Romulus film.
Whoa.
Yeah, and They're talking about a direct sequel to Alien Covenant at last. So, before all of that, though, we have the FX Alien TV series to check
Heck
out.
yeah.
Can't wait. It is officially titled Alien Earth, and it is an 8 episode series projected to hit this spring. It will be the first time in the Alien canon where the xenomorphs come to Earth, so that alone has endless possibilities. Starring Sidney Chandler, Essie Davis, Alex Lothar, and Timothy Oliphant, who I am going out on a limb here and saying he's playing the android or artificial human, as Bishop would say, because, there needs to be one, right? Now, the teaser trailer has dropped, confirming that the year is 2120. So, for those keeping track, that fits in the timeline just before the original movie. Can't wait for this one, guys. Really looking forward to it. Now, for something completely different and new, MGM Plus has just launched a new series called Earth Abides, based on a very popular and well-loved sci-fi novel by George R. Stewart. I have somehow never read this one, so it's going immediately on my list. It is another spin on the apocalyptic pandemic societal collapse genre that we've all seen many times, but this book had some stellar reviews. It is even being called a literary classic. So, this is now a 6 part series, stars Alexander Ludwig and Jessica Francis Dukes. I'm going to check this one out, guys. If you have an MGM Plus subscription or a free trial, check this one out with me, guys. The first episode just hit, so we can all catch it together. Now, in reviews this time in the corner, I am watching 2 new series right now that are remarkably similar, and that's a good thing because they are both excellent. The spy and assassin genre is booming right now,
Mhm.
but if they make them all as good as these series, you can count me all in. So let's start with The Agency on Paramount Plus. The 2 episode streaming premiere broke records for Showtime and has been so successful, a second season has already been announced. Following the inner workings and intrigue of a shadowy CIA group, you're introduced to an agent known as Martian, played by the always flawless Michael Fassbender. You learn very quickly the toll that being an operative like Martian can take on a personal level when he has like 2 days' notice to pull up stakes from his undercover position and head back to the Bureau, leaving everything and everyone behind. Boasting a stellar cast in addition to Fassbender that includes Richard Gere, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, Catherine Waterston, and even Harriet Sanson Harris, for all you Frasier fans out there. For you eagle-eyed fans who notice these things, take note that Fassbender and Waterston both appeared in Alien Covenant together. So there's that. The writing in The Agency is sharp. The production values are lavish. The actors are superb. And if you need something to look forward to on Sunday nights since Tulsa King ended, well,
Mhm.
here you go. And let's not stop there. Jump over to Peacock and check out The Day of the Jackal. Now, I know what you're thinking. We all remember the beloved 1973 film based on the Frederick Forsyth smash hit novel. Why remake a classic? Well, here's the good news. It's not a remake. It's a reboot, which is a fine distinction, as we know. It's set in modern day with a lot of loving homages to the source material, but also really fleshing it out in detail. And not unlike The Agency, it's been such a hit, it's already been renewed for a second season. Starring Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne as you've never seen him before, as a cold and professional contract assassin, the Jackal. The opening sequence is incredibly well put together, spine-tingling and suspenseful. It sets you up for the wild ride to come. This is a cat and mouse chase all over Europe as a British intelligence officer played by Natasha Lynch starts to track him down. Very well done here, guys. Acting is stellar, locations are sweeping, the action is off the hook. Check this one out, gang. You will not be disappointed. The Day of the Jackal is streaming now on Peacock. And that is all for the corner tonight, gang. Back to you, Pete.
All right. Well, very cool. I take all of your recommendations very seriously. I have so far been pleasantly surprised. So I will look forward to catching up on all of these.
Excellent.
Is there anything that you're kind of looking forward to in the new year? Are you hoping that something's going to be a hit or not, or what's on
I'm
your radar?
I mean, there is so much stuff coming. It's like my list is obscene. I know we talked a little before we went up about the new Dune series,
Hmm.
which is also fantastic. I'm waiting a few more episodes in before I do a spot on it,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
am loving it so far. And obviously, like I said, you know me, I'm a big Alien fan, so the Alien series, number one on my list. Looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've been
As a
watching
ma
Lioness. It's
Oh
been
yeah.
amazing.
Oh
Oh,
yes,
it's
Yeah,
Linus
really good.
too.
Lioness
Incredible.
has
Excellent.
been great.
Yep, absolutely.
Hmm.
I'm finally not quite caught up. I'm like one episode behind, so it's another good one. And
Yeah.
so, Bert Oliver Boehmer, another one of our team members. We
Flavor.
hope to see him soon with another one of his battle reports. He says, "Thanks for the updates, Tiny Bean. Found a new show or two there." So thanks
Excellent.
for and cheers from Paul Commander Kane. Thank you. Well, Tiny Bean, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New
Yes.
Year. We look forward to having you, I guess, back up in the new year, right? In
Yeah.
January, up front.
I
Yeah.
listen, if all goes well, I might be back up in a couple of weeks so I can see y'all before
Oh,
Christmas.
oh, that'd be great.
Then we
Okay.
had to
Yeah.
talk.
Very
Then
good.
you had to do the best Christmas movie.
Yes, you know how every year I recommend like
Hmm.
something for the family so
Okay.
yeah, I've
Best
got something
Christmas
on
movie.
tap for
Yeah,
y'all.
definitely.
All right. That sounds cool. Well, then here's to you, Tiny Bean. Thank you very, very much. And we look forward to hearing you then very soon.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Yep.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Hands fuel
Sam.
the fleet.
Hands for the fleet.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Tiny Bean. Awesome. Love getting those reviews. So yeah, it'll be cool to have if we can figure out if she can come back on and do like we've done before, like those end of the year, like what's, the coolest or,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. That'd be kind of
That'd be fun,
interesting, huh?
especially the
Yeah.
Christmas. My favorite Christmas movie. I'm gonna spoil that right now. I better stop.
Okay,
But
you
I
need
have
to
a
stop.
favorite Christmas movie too. So.
Well, you have a couple of things to show off
Hmm.
that we got before these. So these are not our Christmas gifts.
Nope.
These
Oh,
are
they're
are
Christmas gifts to us.
to us,
So our
yes.
own.
This is Artifacts original artwork by
Okay.
artist Chris Scalf.
Scalf. Yep.
It's Sierra 5, S5 from the set. These are really hard to get individually. So I'm building that whole set together. It's from the Battlestar Galactica Colonial Warriors Rittenhouse cards that came out several years ago. Actually, more than several, but we'll just leave it at that. And I was able to catch this one.
More than
And
several, but we'll just leave it there. We
yeah.
won't talk about
And
how many years
then
ago that was.
I got Whiskey 3, W3, Dirk Benedict as Lieutenant Starbuck.
You
So
gotta run into Dirk and have him sign that. That'd be kind of cool.
that would be really cool. So I've run into him already at WinterCon,
Yeah.
which is one of those conventions that is no more. And unfortunately, I did not get his autograph at that convention because we were expecting to meet up with him at AllCon,
Hmm.
and of course that was
That fell through.
the convention that
But
never
you
happened.
did get some. You did have one signed for me.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
I held back because I wanted to get his autograph at AllCon as well as Marin. I was gonna say Marin, no, not
Yeah.
Marin, but
Okay. Wish.
yeah, Noah Hathaway was there and Herb Jefferson, which I had actually gotten before. So There was a few others that were there, and so I didn't get anyone's autograph, thinking we were going to see them at AllCon, and of course, AllCon 2020 was canceled because of the pandemic. But nevertheless, hopefully everybody signed up that wanted an autograph from Jack Stauffer. He was, of course,
Yep.
not at the con.
Collecting that funding now. We're almost finished collecting the funding.
Excellent. Well, I have one last thing that I've been trying to get my hands on for a while. I finally did. This is a wax wrapper from an opened Battlestar Galactica Topps
Push in a little
1978.
bit more on the your left-hand side. Nope, nope. Anyway, I'll push it forward so everybody
Push
can
it
read
forward.
it.
There you go. So you
There it
can
goes.
see.
Right there. That makes it easier to read.
Right. So now if you look at it, you'll notice that this is not the American wrapper, but in fact,
Other
let me
way,
see.
other way,
Yep,
other
there we
way.
go. Yep. I'm going to go up really nice and close and see
There
if
you go.
it'll focus in.
Oh yeah.
There we are. And you'll
Gotta love
notice
these
that
cameras. They work great.
this is actually from Ireland, right? And this was the representative, the only licensed representative to print the Battlestar Galactica cards overseas for UK distribution, which included Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and of course Great Britain. And there you go. So this is one of those rare wrappers from one of those sets of cards. I didn't have one, I got one, and I feel complete. So, for whatever for whatever that's worth, I got one of the wrappers.
I feel
Yeah,
complete.
it's so cool, right? So I just want to read it real quick. It says, manufactured in the Republic of Ireland by Topps Ireland Limited, Cork. So that's County Cork. And there you are. Speaking of Ireland, I hope that Dr. Chris McCauley gets better soon. He has a bit of a cold that he picked up, I guess, up at with
What
North
happens
Pole.
when you get around too many kids? I mean, yeah.
He's doing his Santa thing, and he probably picked it up. And
Oh, no doubt.
hope you get better, buddy. Just get some rest, and do like the Tipsy Toaster does, and imbibe some extra.
I
beverages.
tell everyone, like my uncle Roy. Uncle Roy would tell me every time when anybody got sick, it was like a big shot of rock and rye before you go to bed at night.
Yeah, did it work?
And it worked.
Okay.
I-
Well, there you
rock
go.
and rye.
There's your recipe for
Yep.
to get better, Dr. McCauley. Just rock and rye, and you'll be good to go. I'm sure he has his own homespun Irish remedy that he's working on. But Anthony Palladino, thank you for watching us live. This is Interfleet Broadcasting. We just had our Star Wars update, followed by Tiny Bean's corner of her world, and we do.
You make
we
it sound
discuss-
like her world.
Yeah. So that was that. But so there's one other thing that we wanted to announce. I think this is the best time to
Sure.
announce, is that we're basically, wrapping up the calendar year of 2024. It is December, and we also have been working hard on a fan film dedicated. It's an homage to the original Battlestar Galactica 1978, and then some. And so we did this short called The Stranded Warrior, and in anticipation of the completion of that project, we also did a trailer for it. The trailer was made specifically for our trip to Dragon Con 2 years ago, and actually last year is what it was. So it's a little bit more than 12 months ago. But anyway, the point being that we threw our heart and soul into doing the trailer, not to mention the actual project itself. And we discovered that there was an opportunity to turn that trailer over into certain festivals. So we did that. We sent it out to international film festivals around the world. So a whole new generation have actually put eyes on Glenn Larson's 1978 Battlestar Galactica in a showcased, twisted to meet what we wanted to kind of put out there, and we did really, really well. Actually, we did so well with the trailer and the content and the visuals and what we've been filming that today we were notified that we've won another award. This festival has been around for 7 seasons, 7 years, and on their anniversary, they decided to do a look back at all of the past 7 years and cherry picked what they believe to be the best from each category that they have actually had in their film festivals for the last 7 years. We actually won for best trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And so we received a special notification today that we are amongst a handful of recipients
For Guardians.
yes, we've been named Guardians of Independent Filmmaking. And we share that, of course, with everybody, all of you that are watching, all sci-fi fans, all Battlestar Galactica fans, and especially those that have been supporting us and the cast and crew, including our star, of course, Mr. George Zuvalos, who plays Captain Martin. He is the star, and then some of the supporting cast co-stars, including Diana Durango, George Kiriakopoulos, Anthony Cangiano, Jimmy Shirts, and of course Tara's in Tiny Bean is part of the production, as well as John, and my esteemed co-host plays Count Ibley, which is really, really cool. So Chris, you pulled that off really, really well, and it'll show even more when we have the finished short done.
Oh yeah, I
But
can't
at least
wait.
in the trailer,
Yep.
we have a lot of different elements. I want to thank Chuck Davenport and Chris Marshall. Together, they head our CG team, Dorian Keys, and of course, our executive producer, Dr. Chris McCauley. Thank you, all of you, for making this part of the dream come true. We are very, very close to completing a festival short film of The Stranded Warrior. So it's going to be highly competitive, but at least the trailer and the poster, thanks to Chris Marshall, the poster has won International Best Movie Poster in overseas. So we've gotten 3 accolades for our movie poster. If you haven't seen it, it's on our social media. Go see Stranded Warrior on Meta, Facebook, and you'll see what it looks like. And it's won 3 awards, one for best poster. So we've gotten a bunch of accolades. We're very grateful. Want to share that with all of you. Thank you to the fans that supported us. That actually helped us when we asked for your assistance on Kickstarter, and that made this a reality. So,
Oh yeah,
again,
definitely.
thank you, Chris Moore. Thank you for having the drive. A lot of times, many of us faltered. Many of us didn't know that we didn't believe that we could do this, and so the trailer alone has gotten us
Oh, yeah.
multiple
I can't wait
awards.
till the final
So-
comes out. I know a lot of people out there are tired of hearing about when's it coming out. When's it coming out? We're working on it.
Oh, and of course, Mediocre Modeler, who did so,
Oh, yeah.
he made some unique props for the actual film. So this award is for all of us,
All I want
Kelvin.
for Christmas
That
is
includes you and everybody else that was a
helmet.
part of it. It's some really cool stuff that you guys will see. Do you happen to have that the banner, the actual the award that they sent us from?
Not yet. No, I don't have it.
It'd be kind of cool if we can just share that real
Let's see
quick.
if I can find it.
It's we did put up I believe we put something up on the actual page that we have on social media, again announcing and thanking everybody for helping out and getting that major award. It was unsolicited. We were a part of the film festival which came and went, and then this was a special that the film festival, Virgin Spring Cinefest, had their 7th anniversary, official 7th anniversary post film festival, and made this announcement, these selections, best of. And so we're very honored. Thank you very much for selecting us as honored guardians of indie film making. So that's a really cool international award that was completely unsolicited. They went through all of their film winners over the last 7 years. So really cool. Congratulations to you, Chris, and everybody else, everybody who was involved. So thank you. And thank you to the fans that are watching this later, right? We have a set number of diehards that come on and watch us live. And then it seems that we have thousands of others of you that watch us later on. So thank you very much for watching. We're getting close to the end of the year, the calendar year of 2024. This is still our 5th season that we're doing these shows, IFB. We do them basically every Thursday night, and then sometimes we'll throw in a special, an exclusive. So thank you for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. We're waiting to see if we can actually work out the kinks to get our guest on, and if he does pop on, we will then introduce him. He was scheduled. We'll see if there's a time issue or not, or if it's actually a full-on
sometimes that
technical
happens.
issue. That happens. But in the meantime, just again, thanks, fans, Fuel the Fleet, guys, and we are honored that you've joined us. When we started 5 years ago, we just thought it was going to be just the two of us talking to ourselves and maybe one or two of you, and lo and behold,
There's the trophy.
we've almost gotten there. It is. So Virgin Springs Cinefest is an overseas international film festival. They gave us the title of Guardians of Honor for as indie filmmakers, and so that is for the trailer, the Stranded Warrior trailer that we put out. And like I mentioned, it was something that the Tipsy Toaster and I sat down before Dragon Con, and we put that together, and we went to Dragon Con with it to premiere, and it's going to be
so much. It's going to be so much better than what we just put together. For that. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, Dave Francourt, thanks for joining us. Fran Severn, Superfan Fran, we have something. Okay, I'm glad you jumped on, because Tipsy wants to show off something that he's picked up a couple of original Galactica pieces, or part of the Galactica, bigger little.
Yeah.
lore.
So while we're waiting for our guest, I guess I can go for that.
To bring that up, you're gonna get a kick out of this.
Yeah.
Fran.
So I'm a big fanzine, and actually, if you look off to my, which
that side,
is that? There it is.
That one. That one.
Whole thing, as well as the one above it, is full of fanzines, as well as another spot over there around the corner that I don't have room in the office for. It's full of fanzines. I'm always collecting fanzines and looking for special ones, and there's a number of them on Facebook, and I have one of those things. Don't compete against me on Facebook, damn it, you'll make me mad.
I got one. I got a new one. I got one that you don't have. You'll see.
But I like to grab the fanzines from the past, and in the past, we met Fran because we were looking at fanzines, and I don't remember. We came up with
we were searching for Sharon Monroe.
Yeah, Sharon Monroe, and we came up with Fran. And I was like, "Hey, Fran, do you know Sharon?" And Fran's like, "Oh yeah, I wrote for that." I was like, "Oh, that's right," because I have a couple of your stuff. And I was like, "Holy crap, that's Fran!" And so I have a number of hers on the shelf back there. One of them is this one, Tally of the Souls.
Oh, it's a good
one. Which is a really good one. And I think we did chapter by chapter on the Tally of the Souls, I believe.
As a matter of fact, I think Matt Bush did the cover for that.
Yep, and Matt Bush did do the cover for this. You can actually see his name down there, and right there.
Yep,
Matt
that's
Bush.
right.
So this is one of the cards that are inside of the
Battlestar Galactica Yeah, one of the
So,
newer
Yeah,
sets.
Tally of Souls is a really good book, and I liked it and everything else, but I did not know, and I have found. So in this Tally of the Souls, it's well bound. It's just a book. It doesn't have any pictures in it whatsoever or anything like that, which is okay. I mean, it's a book, and it really is a book. I came across something from a company called Clean Slate Press, and that's their logo back here.
Ooh.
Right? And they actually did another one, and this is it. This is not something that I knew existed until the other day. This is
Wow. Look at
the
that.
front cover, and this is
Tally of the Souls by
By
Fran
Fran.
and Severn. Woo! Super fan Fran. Love it.
so.
What's
Plus,
the
this
year on
one
that?
comes with
Oh yeah, that comes with art.
artwork.
Yeah.
So
So
we
cool.
have a number of pictures of artwork. One of my favorites, of course, is this one.
Yeah, of course. Fran just said that it has like 70,000 words. Clean Slate was Sharon's publishing company. That is the original edition and original copy. I don't even have that one. I told you, Chris, she didn't have that one. I knew it.
And this is a really good shape. This is like brand new shape.
It's like, yeah, it's minty.
got-
Oh,
we got
Fran, I'm so
pictures.
happy you made it on. Oh, look at that. That's cool. That's a nice one.
Got all sorts of. So there's photos inside of here, along with
There's photos?
a video. I mean, pictures, drawings.
Drawings. Okay, so illustrations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike the other one, which still, they're both good. But I now have two copies, different ones, and
Yeah.
there it is.
Oh wow, look at that. See, I didn't know what to make of that when I first encountered the fanzines back in the day in the early 80s. I didn't know what to make of them. And now I really, really appreciate the original art and the time and effort that went into the writing, the creation. I really do have a very, very different appreciation now of all of that. It just means so much.
This is how you as fans, we have that's a weird looking one. Oh, there we go.
Oh wow.
As fans, is how we continued the love for our beloved star, Battlestar. I mean, it's something that we knew that they stopped doing. When all else fails, when you have your favorites or whatever favorite shows or whatever else, and they shut it down and it's over. I mean, the only thing you can do is rewatch the same episodes over and over and over again, or you can create new stories and you can create that universe and push it farther. Fran, one of the groundbreakers in this is somebody who created stories and created things that are going to live longer than us in regards to stories. I mean, they're fan stories, they're fan ideas, they're fan things that are put together. I think it's so important. Just like a fan film, it's so important that you share those ideas and those things with other people. And we were lucky enough to meet Fran, and we were lucky enough to I was lucky enough to find now 2 different copies of the show. Now I'm wondering, she's got the other ones.
Speaking of the other ones,
loyalty check and what was the other one?
Well, Fran just said that you have a fanzine that has one of her stories that she doesn't have.
Oh, you have to let me know which one it is.
She's gonna hound you until you find it for her.
Gotta tell me which one it is.
Dave Turnbull, what's up, man? Dave, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate it.
So there was that.
Good to see you, man.
And then I found another story I didn't know existed, and we'd done a couple of other stories. I think was it Battle Molokai? Was
one of the reviews that we did.
Sharon Monroe. We actually did a Battle Molokai. We did chapter by chapter.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely.
Back in the day.
Oh,
and I did not know that there was another. There's fanzines and there's almost fan books. Now these two things that we looked at were fan novels.
Yeah, fan novels.
There's another fan novel that was written by Sharon, which Sharon, if anybody knows who Sharon Monroe is or where she
Where
could
is
be
she?
talked to or whatever
Yeah.
else, we would love to interview her.
Yeah.
We've been searching for a number of years trying to get a hold of her. We found some information, but she doesn't seem to reply. But she was part of Clean Slate Press. Once again, that's the logo for Clean Slate Press. And this one I did not know existed. Is a relatively, this is brand new feeling. This one's called Fire in His Soul.
Whoa. What is that?
So this is a novelette, I don't even call it, short story,
Yeah.
from Sharon Monroe.
Sharon Monroe.
So
Ooh.
these are rare to find, especially the novelettes. The short stories and the fanzines are a little bit easier to find, but these entire novels, this is a lot of words. And then back in the day,
wow.
this was put together on pin-fed print and copied, and you can actually see some of these. You can actually see the mimeograph, almost the purplish colors on some of these. But this one is really good shape, and you can see some of them were dot print matrix.
Yeah.
Instead of regular,
matrix,
and so these are fun to find. This one was really cool to find. The thing I found in the back was this.
What is that?
So looking for fanzines, see what's currently available. Agent with Style. Come visit our webpage, agentwithstyle.com.
Oh,
that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh wow!
I looked it up, tried to find it, but the person who ran Agent with Style is still out there. Found a Facebook page with Agent with Style and some information on that. Gonna try to track that person down.
Oh, that's cool.
And see it, see how that goes. But lots of cool backstory, fans. We like to talk about the fans, and this is part of the fandom. This is something that you're not going to find in your Blu-ray DVD version of Battlestar Galactica or anything. You have to go and if you really go and dig on some of these things, like Pete does digging on the cards and everything else that were out there and the different ones, and we're still. Did we ever get anything back on the ad we put out?
No. So what we did was we took out an ad looking for the brothers that actually had a uncut sheet of, it was the prototype for the second set of Topps 1978 Battlestar Galactica cards. They were set up, and they had the two brothers had a complete set, a full sheet, and they wrote an article in a non-sports card collector's magazine that I subscribe to. We took an ad out asking if they or anybody else knows where we can get in touch with them, that we would like to have them come on the show and talk with us about, what their experience was with getting their hands on that prototype sheet. It was an official printed. It was like first run, prototype run that was never released, right? But Topps had laid out pictures front and back, continuation. All right, so it started from the original Topps 1978 had 132 cards plus stickers, and this was the continuation. It was going to start with number 133 and continue on. And so we have not heard back, unfortunately. I was hoping that they were still subscribers to the magazine that I took the ad out, and that they would contact us. Unfortunately, it's been a while. I don't know where they are, but I have the original article with some images. So we're going to do an exclusive, and we will show that all off. A lot of collectors that I know on the forums had always talked about Battlestar Galactica Topps series 2, that there was this myth, this urban legend that there had been. Well, in fact,
Chasing
there
the myths.
was. Yep, there was.
And that's what we'll do. We're fans.
Yep,
We're crazy. We'll change
yep,
that. We'll chase that
that's
thing.
right. And we're going to talk about it. I have the skinny, I have the dirty on, the facts of the second series set of Tops 1978. In this case, it was going to be issued in 1979. They, of course, they didn't do that. They canceled it, but we're going to get back to it. I did want to mention that I picked up a fanzine called Star Searches. There was probably only 4 issues. I picked up the first issue. It's March of 1983. It is a Battlestar Galactica related fanzine. I don't know if it's actually documented out there, or if the stories are found anywhere outside of the print. Professor Eric Padden would know, but I'm sure I'll reach out to him once I get that copy, and I'll share it with you guys as well. I did want to bring up a couple of things. Fran texted. She said there are 3 more novels and a slew of short stories on archive of our own. Look for stories by Shea. Let's see, Loyalty Check, The Homecoming, and the new one is called The Game. So they were the ones who did the books with Matt Bush covers. This is in relation to Agent with Style is no longer around. Homecoming is subtitled Get the Boy Home. It's my take on what happens after Starbuck is marooned, and how he gets home. The Battle of Malachi, part of the Pegasus Chronicles. They are online. I'll find out where and get that to you. Yes, thank you.
And if you if you haven't read Battle of Malachi, go back in our archives and find
awesome.
One of our broadcasts from, I think, about 2 years ago. We went through chapter by chapter.
Totally worth it. Fran's stuff is totally worth it. Professor Padden, who is another IFBer, also all of their work, all worth it. If you're a fan of Battlestar Galactica, please, if you want to, just take a little bit of time and just read some really cool stories that are
fantastic
intertwined
ideas
with our character. Yeah, it's just really cool. So I highly recommend all of that stuff. And thank you, Fran, for supporting IFB and being a friend. Fran, of course, is also in the Stranded Warrior. And so all of you, everybody, you all share in all of our accolades and awards. The Stranded Warrior that we're finishing up, and the awards that we're getting is for everyone. We're sharing that with all of you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We're trying to figure out what exactly
ditto, Fran, ditto.
What is going on. So no, John, we're having there must be some kind of issue getting our guest on, but that sometimes happens. We'll wait a little bit while we can extend a little bit, see if we can get him on, and if not, we can reschedule. It's not that big of a problem. We're looking forward to wrapping up the calendar year. This broadcast is on December 5th of 2024. It's season 5. Season 5, man. That's crazy.
Just had an idea that I don't want to run. I'll run past you maybe for next year, maybe this year, but I don't think we'll be able to do it next year. No, we'll go to do it next year for sure.
Okay, cool.
Next year, I think we can run. What do you think of a Stranded Warrior PDF calendar?
That's possible. We give it out for free.
Free.
We're also doing something else. You guys,
probably this weekend.
Yeah, if you have been watching and following IFB, you'll know that we have, with the help of our executive producer, Dr. Chris McCauley, he's created and developed an RPG game, right? A role-playing game that is it's called the Stranded Warrior because it plays in the Stranded Warrior world and universe.
The Lost Warrior world.
we're going to do a test run on that RPG, and once we play it out and work out some of the kinks, we're gonna make that actually this platform with in conjunction with ABC Games and thanking, of course, Dr. Chris McCauley, who is going to make it all happen. We'll be giving it out, distributing it for free. We're going to tell you where you can download the PDF, and you can also then play the Stranded Warrior RPG. So that's coming. We just
But you're
I
going to
saw
want to play as a Cylon.
we'll see about that. Yeah, no, but hey, look, not for nothing. You'll be able to play as a
Yes.
Cylon, right? Which is cool. You will not only that, the intent was that you could play um like actual, combat, right? Like it's a tactical game, uh, and you can play as a Cylon Centurion and actually, go through everything using all the different weapons that we never really saw used.
Cylon tanks
Really,
rule.
yep, yeah, all of that's in there. We saw the cover.
Cylon
There's a
bayonets rule
cover
too.
for the PDF, which is really cool. So once we get the kinks out of it, we will then be able to maybe play a little bit of it on air. So we'll probably end up doing that at some point in the future, in 2025 for sure. But that's part of, thanks to Dr. McCauley and ABC Games, we'll be able to provide everybody with a free RPG of the Stranded Warrior. What do you think of that?
Definitely. Kim asks, when are the, let's see, she got here late. Any news on when the monies for Jack's picks will be debited?
Okay.
You should have gotten if you didn't, send me an email. But you should have already gotten a request for funding on that.
So, Chris, do you wanna then just very quickly, once talking about Jack's autographs, once we actually get all forms of payment together, right? Or
Yep.
everybody's paid up. Once we get that, then we take the list of everyone.
Who paid?
Yeah, everybody paid, correct? So
Yep.
everyone that's paid, we will look at what the which of the 8x10s you
Yep. You
wanted
have a list. Yep.
autographed, what you wanted put on it, right? Whether you wanted personalized or not. And once we get that all
Excuse me.
together, we will then send that information over to Jack. Jack will then go through the list one by one. He will take out all of the pictures as
Yep.
requested. He will sign them. We're going to have some pictures taken of him signing those. And then once we get those, we will distribute them. That was the deal that we worked out with Jack. We couldn't have him actually, sending them out. That was a little bit too much. So we're just going to get him the list. We're going to get him some markers, and then a delivery box.
Yep.
So they'll get him a box. He'll put everything that's signed into the box, send it out, and then once I get it, I will break it down, and I will then go to the mail and then individually mail all of these out to you. Since
Right.
that's the intent. Now, in a perfect world, guys, I mean, it's right now, today, this broadcast is going out on December 5th. In a perfect world, we would try to do this before the 24th, which is Christmas, but
Right.
that doesn't guarantee that you'll have it by Christmas.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know if we'll have it by then, but we're
yeah,
gonna give
but
it. We'll give it a shot, but it
we'll
just
give it a
depends
shot.
on
We're gonna do our best.
the people who pay. Maybe we'll try to run two payment. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. That's all I can
Well,
say.
yeah, but we're gonna keep you we're gonna keep you updated. So you keep tuning in to IFB, and we'll be able to tell you exactly where we're at and what the status is. As a matter of fact, we will have Jack Stoffer come on,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
we'll
He's
we'll have
definitely
once, yeah, we'll
wanting to
wrap
come
it
on
up
really
though.
bad. Yep.
We'll wrap up the autograph thing, and then we'll have him come on, and we'll have him talk about it, and have him tell you, his feelings on it. And then, in the meantime, in the background, we'll be working on getting all that together so that we can, so you guys all know how this is operating. All the payments come through. We then put together a spreadsheet with, names, addresses, uh, how many and what pictures, how you want that either personalized or not for each individual. Once we get all that together, we then send that to Jack with
Mhm.
some markers, and then he then starts putting them all out.
Yep.
He then autographs them,
And he just
sends
texted me today. He's can't wait to do it.
good, and then it'll come back to me. The box with all the autographs comes back to me. I break them down individually, and then I will be putting them into the mail, sending them out to you guys. So I will be able to keep you updated once I get them, right? Which once I have them, as a matter of fact, we'll be able to show them off on air. We'll be able to show you here,
Mhm.
look, this is and then I will be sending those out to you ASAP.
That's definitely the plan.
That's the plan. So,
And
let's see.
we shut it down the other day. So anybody still listening, you can send me an email. We may be
All right,
able to
Lola
squeeze you in.
says, I have no sound. Am I the only one? Oh, it's back. Okay.
Maybe.
It's back. Yep, she's
Okay.
good. She's good. Okay, thank you, Lola. Appreciate it, though. Appreciate you.
I remember when we first had Lola
Oh my
to
God.
check to see if the broadcast, it was at AwesomeCon, wasn't it? We were
were
broadcasting
at-
live
yes.
at AwesomeCon for one of the very
Yes.
first times, and we didn't know if the audio was working.
And we were like,
so
oh, no,
we
is
got
this
with it.
working?
We had Lola
So-
come on.
We call Lola, and Lola was like, whatever I can do, what do you want me to do? Tell me what to do, and I'll do it for you guys, no problem. And Lola just, did what she had to do, and she's like, yep, I'm getting it. It works. It's great. Okay. You guys are all, it was awesome. It was 5 years ago. And it's
One of
incredible.
our very first
Wanna,
cons, too.
Thank you guys. Yep.
As
First con.
IFB, yeah.
Yeah, as IFB, we were there covering officially. As a matter of fact, Tipsy, did we get any updates on San Diego?
I have not heard anything yet.
Okay. So, that's okay. Yes, it's very funny, Lola, but we really, really appreciate it, and we'll never forget that. You were there for us, and that means a lot. But okay. So bottom line is, guys, you need to know that once we have, we're very close to getting a picture lock on the Stranded Warrior, as well as everything. When it rains, it pours. Our other project is called the Tower Protocol Resurrection. We're both of them neck and neck in post production, almost finished with both. So with the Stranded Warrior, we have selected a very narrow and tight number of film festivals that we're going to be sending it out to. That includes a healthy representation of conventions.
Mhm.
So there will be probably, I'd say, I don't know, there might be a dozen actual conventions that have film festivals that we will be submitting to.
Right. And we can't
if-
release it publicly until after we're done with all of those things.
all the festivals, right? So
And I like
once-
Mediocre Modeler's thing. I said, hey, about releasing a great Christmas present would be releasing a 1-minute clip from TSW. Pete
so
won't let me do that. I would do it in a heartbeat.
we could look.
Pete's not going to let me.
What we can do is, in theory, we could take a piece of what has not been used, what will not be used, has not been used, and is in a very, very raw state. We could do that. We could share that maybe on our last broadcast and show you a little bit of what
You say
it's
last
look-
broadcast. That doesn't sound
Yeah.
right.
for the year. That's
For the
right. I'm
year.
sorry,
Okay,
for
thank you.
2024. Our
Finish
last
that out.
broadcast for
Finish that out.
2024. Yes. Maybe we could let you see a little bit of what is not used. Like what they call, the cutting room floor. We'd have to get with the team and see if we can, pick just enough of that. But material
I'm in my drive
is-
now.
the stuff that's in the version, right? The festival version, the material that's being used in the festival version, we cannot release that publicly. We want to try to keep the premiere status of the Stranded Warrior and its components so that we can use that as criteria, as leverage to get into some of the tier one or tier two film festivals around the world that it really counts
Isn't
in,
on the
especially
Stranded Warrior? Isn't one of the Diana's flubs with the cell phone going off in the background? Is that on there?
well, that's part of the whole scene. That whole scene is
Right, but I mean,
there's other scenes though.
isn't
We have other
exactly, but isn't that one already on? Did we already leak that one?
no, we didn't. But
Are you sure?
yeah,
I swear
no.
we
What I
did.
can tell you, what there's other scenes that
That was funny.
unfortunately, there's other scenes that didn't make it. That didn't make the cut.
Oh, you mean the one where the elephant? Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
And then
not the elephant, but
and
yeah.
then the one where Athena
Yeah.
actually comes in yeah,
So
and then
so that there's at least
sorry, just teasing.
there's
There's a number of scenes that didn't make
were
the
not-
cut because it was too long. I mean,
correct.
we were looking at a 30-minute plus
Right. So
short,
so one of those
which
scenes,
isn't short.
one of those scenes that did not make the cut.
I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head without giving it away. So
There's a couple of them I can think of right off the top of my head that we could actually share with everyone. Yeah, there's a couple. So
Okay.
all right, you know what, Mediocre Modeler, thank you for bringing that up, and we can do that. So there are a couple of scenes that unfortunately,
oh, here's a mediocre modeler special right here.
what do you got? Mm-hmm. Oh
If it
yeah,
wasn't for mediocre modeler, we wouldn't have this.
wouldn't have
which
that.
was-
So
Matter of
thank
fact,
you,
he
sir.
has signed it on the back.
Oh,
Let's get a full shot of that. Hang on.
that's really cool.
There we go.
Yep. There you go. Hey, Sean, what's up? Thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Chris Laskowski, a blooper reel. You know, believe it or not, Chris, there's not a lot
There
of
was not a lot of bloopers.
There was
I mean,
not a lot of bloopers.
other than
Everybody
the cell phone one was funny.
The
That
cell
was really
phone,
funny.
yeah, there was a cell phone that went off, and that was a
And
good
Diana
one.
went on a
Yeah.
tirade, fake
Yeah, it was-
tirade.
Perfect. There was not a lot of bloopers. There was
I mean, there's a lot of, I wouldn't say funny bloopers. There was a lot of, oh, okay, let's do that again, or let's shoot that again,
Yeah.
or let's do this.
Um,
There wasn't anything funny wise, I don't think.
unfortunately, there was a great scene with Diana Durango and Tiny Bean that did not get filmed, unfortunately. And
Didn't
they
get
did
filmed
a little,
or didn't get on.
it was not, it was in between, and it was not caught on. Nobody
Oh,
filmed it.
actually, I
And
think,
they did a little song and dance thing, and it was so funny. And
yeah, they were. I
It was
remember
like
that. but I don't-
a Broadway, a little bit of song and
That
dance
was
from a
funny.
Broadway show.
They were singing and
Unfortunately,
everything.
Yeah, that was in between takes and didn't get filmed. We don't even have a photograph of that.
I don't think so.
But there is clearly there's a scene from the end of it was like one of the last shots that we did on our second day that
There's
unfortunately
some CG we can probably push out too that Chuck did in regards to
Yeah.
the body, because
Yeah,
we're not
we
using that
could.
in the final, so we could
Yeah.
definitely leak
So
that one out.
there's all right, so there's two things. So we have a couple of things that we could actually show you guys that unfortunately
that didn't
are
make
not
it.
in.
And
Didn't
if
make
you
it.
see the stuff that didn't make it, the stuff that did make it will
Oh yeah. Oh, it's very cool.
blow your
Oh
mind.
yeah. Yep. That's right.
I think it's gonna be
So
it's gonna be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
We got
I'm so
some
excited
cool
about
stuff.
getting this done. It's been hanging over my head for a while,
Yeah.
but we're gonna get there.
Lola's
It's
like,
just a
do
little
it,
bit of
do it,
time.
do it. Yes. So that's kind of like, all right, so we can do that. We'll do it for the wrap up for 2024.
Okay.
We'll include that in. So we just want to thank everybody for coming on. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it happens. Our
happens,
our
you
guest
know,
didn't show up,
our
but
guest wasn't able to make it, extenuating circumstances. That's okay. We'll reschedule him. Okay, if we can't get the clip, you could do Tara and either Chris or Pete doing a rendition of Baby It's Cold Outside. That's funny. I have one better. I challenge you, Kelvin, to come on
It's cold
and
outside.
have you come on with us, and all four of us do that.
Karaoke.
So
That's it. We're doing karaoke on New Year's.
Karaoke or karaoke?
Karaoke. I call it karaoke. Karaoke. I know people who call it croaky.
Okay.
Depends on where you are. If you're New Yorker, Southwestern, or Southern.
Oh my God.
Or actually from Japan and know the exact right word.
Okay. So, you know what? I am grateful for all of you. Thank you very much. We had a really, really great Star Wars roundup with the 501st Empire City Garrison's commander, Chris Feehan, who does some great stuff with charity and Star Wars. He gave us a whole overview. Tiny Bean Tara was on, and we got to, look at some of upcoming, shows that I think are really cool. So we talked about that, and we shared with you some of our acquisitions, the fan stuff, and some of our our card stuff. You guys know I love my Battlestar Galactica cards. I mean, this is just right. The UK, right?
Pete's curls up with that next to him at night. So
yeah. So love all that. And all right. So listen, guys. I think that's it for IFB tonight. Want to thank you for tuning in. Right, Chris?
It's once again, thank you for showing up. It's always been an amazing thing. We're always trudging through the background of all the cool sci-fi stuff. Would love to talk to our interviewee tonight. He's done some things that I was really interested in regards to Greatest American Hero and some of the other shows. But it's the fandom. You are all the fans of all of these different shows, and they stick in your memory, and you create things, or even if you don't create things, you remember those shows, and you carry them with you, and those cool ideas, and make you smile when you think back on them. It's so important that you keep that going. Keep it up. Love what you love. If it's something that is kind of weird, like maybe Manimal or something like that. But I don't like Manimal. But when somebody mentions that, it automatically brings some joy to you. And it's the creators of those shows, it's the writers of those shows, it's the fans that keep those pieces going. And if it wasn't for you, those things would just die, and we don't want that to happen. And there's people like Fran who write, fanzines and fan stories, and the people like us who create movies. And I think it takes a village. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
To raise a fandom.
Yeah. So look, I'll tell you this. Dave Turnbull came up with a great idea, and sometimes what you need is to hear it from somewhere else just to get it to make sense. He says maybe behind the scenes candid pics as a slideshow. We have fantastic behind the scene pictures. We're going to put together a slideshow, guys.
And the other thing is we could, I don't know if we could get away with talking about some of the things we put into it, that there was a lot of thought into creating certain things into that will never come out on us. It'll have to, it would have to be a behind the scenes thing. Well, why did we pick a specific name? What did that name mean? Why did we do that? And why?
Well, look,
where's this kind of thing? So that'll probably be more of a
we can do
Blu-ray version.
We can do that as a promotional tool once we release. However, we can do a behind the scenes slideshow. We have a lot of really good pictures thanks to John One. He was our production coordinator, and he also was our still photographer on The Stranded Warrior. He took some tremendous behind the scenes photos. And yes, Dave, we can actually do, and you're in a bunch of those because you were in Stranded Warrior as well.
And your watch is there too.
Oh my God. So we can do.
And your headset, I believe it was one of the headsets.
Yeah, we can do the behind the scenes slideshow. We can put that together.
The
It'd be
bibs.
awesome.
Well, I remember the bibs. My daughter was so.
Oh yeah.
Everybody put a
We don't
bib
want
on. We're not getting
anyone getting dirty. That's right. So yeah, the slideshow, we will definitely do that. The dedicated costume people making the background look right. Yep, all of that. Absolutely. Thank you guys. I will make an excellent selection of. We have a lot of really good pictures. So yeah, the slideshow we can do. I'm so glad that we brought it up and that you guys came up with these ideas. Thank you very, very much.
We need to keep the
We'll
fire
do it.
burning. I know
Yeah.
it's been a long time, and a lot of you have been waiting for this, and a lot of you funded it, and you're starting to wonder, can we really trust those two guys? I mean, really, he's a Cylon. Really,
Yeah,
he's a
exactly.
colonial. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
trust the colonials
So
whatsoever.
we'll give you a clip. We'll give you a
Yep.
small clip. There is at least 2 scenes, unfortunately, that didn't quite make it, and a little CG. Plus, we'll do the slideshow as a 2024 wrap up, and then of course, New Year will bring us. The intention is the actual festival release. So
It
we're
will
very,
be
very
done next
happy.
year.
Yeah, we will have
No
a
doubt
release
about it.
for 20. Yes, we will have a release. We are the closest, obviously, that we've ever been, guys, thanks to the hard work of
Yep.
Tipsy Toaster and Chuck Davenport and Chris Marshall. Thank you guys very, very much for everything. We are very, very close. So we're looking forward to the next few shows, right? So before that, thank you. Keep the faith. You guys, you fans, you fuel the fleet, period.
Yep.
The fans are everything, and you guys are our family, right? The
Yep.
IFB family. So
It
thank you.
takes a village to raise a family. Wait a minute. It takes a village to raise a fandom. Or keep
That's
a fandom.
correct.
So,
Absolutely.
anyways, let me find this. Does that work? We'll find out. Let's not do that. Okay. Well, anyways, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next Thursday. Don't remember who the guest is next Thursday.
No, I have
I don't either.
not off the top of my
I know
head.
we've
We'll
got
see.
some really cool guests coming up. But join us next Thursday. Same bat channel, same bat place. We'll come back into broadcast range, and we will see you then. But until then, keep your memories of of your favorite films. Go back and rewatch some of those
Favorite
things.
shows.
Go back and watch your shows. Go back and watch your
Yes.
things. And always keep the faith, because fans feel the fleet. So here's to you.
You guys. Thank you very much.
I